All right, so here we have an essay where you will find an example of how sometimes go off track. Um, the topic is some people say that a person's success is as a direct result of the way they were brought up by their parents. Do you agree or disagree? The question is very clearly asking what are the factors that influence a child uh, during his developmental phase. Is it the influence of the parents or the influence of something else? In case you want to support the idea that parents influence children, you have to tell the reasons or tell that parents are most important, and you might like to give some examples in terms of how parents influenced someone's thinking and how they brought about a change. So the tone of the answer has to match the tone of the question, and that is something very, very important. Now let's look at this question. Let's look at this answer and see whether the tone matches the tone of the question or not. It says discipline starts at home is a well known saying which implies that children learn the most at home. Parents have major influence in shaping up a child's personality and character. I completely agree to this statement and will discuss it further in detail here. So we understand. So introduction seems to be very clearly supporting the idea that parents influence children. Now, if parents influence children, then how the parents influence children is more important. Then what should parents do? So let's see. Firstly, a child's mind is like clay and it be molded very easily. It can be molded very easily. It can be molded. It can be molded very easily in their life as they tend to learn mostly by watching. And before as there should be a comma, because we are giving a reason, so we have to put a comma there. Although there are various factors that influence their development, the most important is what the parents teach them. The most important of them is what the parents teach them. Hence it is the responsibility of the parents to set a good now see, this is where the whole essay is going off track. Hence, it is the responsibility of the parents to set a good example of being kind, responsible, and respectful human beings in the society. The passage is not asking how the parents should behave, and this is off track. So you may lose marks on task completion in case you end up writing like this, because the question is never asking what the parents should do or should not do. Furthermore, since marriage is one of the most important institutions of life, the parents are again the first examples to show how they should behave in a relationship and the importance of family. Again, we are talking about, the train has gone off track now, and it's not answering the question. The question is it the parents? Now, see, if you want to establish that the parents are the most important or the most, their influence is the deepest, we have to make a comparison. You know, you can always say that we can understand this by comparing it with the influence of teachers and with the influence of friends. So while teachers and friends, so you can write an example, a paragraph where you compare it with external environment, and where you compare with, let's say, friends or books or TV or anything else, how children are influenced by their peers in school and all that, and you can give some examples in that regard. So the problem has to be very clearly defined by you, and you have to establish, you have to give evidence with regard to the question. Secondly, I believe that parents should imbibe a culture in their home where they promote a sense to value money and hard work. Again, this is off track. Nobody is asking what the parents should do. For example, a lot of parents now see, all English is fine, but then you are not answering the question, which means you have not understood the question. And on that regard, on that front, you would be losing, let's say, 2 points there, which means in any case you will be starting from 7 bands. Lastly, in order to bring a change in the patriarchal society, in the parents, it is the parents' responsibility to disregard the gender biased roles and da da da. So again, no, since it has gone off track, it is staying off track and going full speed in the wrong direction. To conclude, parents have a massive role to play in a child's life. It shapes them up to be ready to face the hardships of life once they are on their own, whilst being a safety net whenever they stumble and need support. Therefore, I completely agree that one's upbringing is the most crucial factor for their success in life. So, conclusion is somehow relating to it, but the examples are too far and little stretched and, of course, off track. So, it is very important that you analyze your essay and be very clear of what you want to say, what you answer, what you say should be um, uh, an answer to what is asked. Otherwise, you'll end up losing marks.